Hello everyone and welcome to my corner of the world. It's been a while since I last shared something from my sort of green foliage junk journal that I've been working on. This is going to be the last signature for that particular journal. So again, I'm sort of started with an idea and then I'm going to bring this sort of finish it off in front of the camera, as I promised that I would switch my camera on whenever I worked on this. So I've got this piece of pretty paper. We're measures 10 by 8 and it is double-sided. So this is how I bought it, and then I printed this on it from a download that I got from Etsy. So what we're going to do is we're going to this is like 10, so I'm going to score this one at 5, so I'll score it in half, and then on the 8-inch side I'm going to score at 2. So that will give me a finished piece of 6 by 5. I think that's what it turns out to be. So this particular journal I have been working on is just me experimenting on different kinds of signatures. Rather than just getting some papers and sticking them in, I decided that I would let's do it this way, that I would just experiment with different, that's what I want to do, with different types of signature and see what I kind of ended up with. And I think this is either number 5 or number 6, I can't remember exactly, but that's what we've got. So this will give me 2 pockets and then some pages, and if I just do a little, where did I put that? It's always the same, isn't it? Oh, there it is. It's under something. Let's just get some ink and just ink up these edges a teensy bit just to take some of the newness off. So this was inspired by something I saw from Jez Carpenter on my Jezza Creates, and I've kind of just used the idea to just, as I say, pull together another signature, only as an experiment really, me just trying to work through some ideas on how I can create different types of signature and how they can go together. So I'm just going to take this because I've got a little bit of, it's not a clean cut, not that it matters, I just wanted to get rid of that white. There we go. And then just along here a little bit, just again to take that away. And then I think then I'll leave that at that, and if I need to do any more I'll just do that off camera. I like to try and keep my videos for no more than 30 minutes, because I know I kind of start to get a bit antsy when the videos start to get a bit too on the long side. Right, so that gives me that piece. So I'm just going to use this adhesive. This is a spirit-based one, and so with this thin paper it doesn't make it warp. So a tiny little bit down here, and a tiny little bit here and here, and that will give me my pockets like that. There. Right, so I'm happy with that. Now, I did make one of these earlier here. Again, it's exactly the same size, and what I wanted to do was to attach them together to create a little pocket in the middle there. So we know that there will be a pocket there. I'm going to add or punch out a little finger hole there, and these two pieces are going to stick together, so I just need to cut another matching finger hole. I'm just going to use a paper clip just to hold that in place. I'm going to do another matching finger hole here. So there it is. So I'm just going to use this as a guide, and then when those go together, okay, you open it up, and then there will be a pocket in there, and I'll probably put a journaling card or something. We might even have time to make that, depending on how far we get with this. Right, and now I'm gonna have my pocket coming in from here, so I need to put my adhesive here. Is that coming out? I think it is. Now, I could just have easily have made the pocket so it went that a ways, but it struck me that if this is too wide for the cover when I get that far, then that bit will stick out too far. And so I'll want to have it at the top, and it won't matter so much. Right, let's try and put the top back on my glue, because it didn't half dry quick in that little tube. Right, so we're going to stick these pieces down, and again, because it's liquid, I can slide it around until I kind of get it as best matched up as I can. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a paper clip on these three sides just to hold them in place, just for now. 1, there, 2, and 3. So make sure I get it the right way up. Okay, now if I measure this, as I said, it's 5 by 6. So if I can cut a little piece of card that is just less than 5 by 6, I set that aside to dry for a few moments. So I've got a nice piece of pale green here. So if I go, so it's got to be less than 5. So if I make it 4 3/4, like that, by 5 3/4. Maybe I'll make it just a little bit less than that. There we go, a little bit more than that rather. 5, Cindy, 5, not, there we go. I thought that looked a wee bit small. Right, so with any luck, that will go in. I might need to trim a tiny bit off if it starts to snag on the adhesive, but I tried very hard to keep that adhesive as close to the edge as possible. So that will give me my my little insert there, giving me an extra piece. Depending on what I do, I could decorate it. I could, you know, put a photo on there. I could use it as for journaling. Right, so that will go there. Now the other thing is I don't really want to put anything much else on these little pockets inside. So I got some scraps of paper, and you'll see they're not all the same size. They're all slightly different, but that's fine. I think, what is it, about 3 3/4 by 3. And you can see all I've done is just put some ink around the edge, and I cut a strip of the same paper, a scrap that was left over here, and I'm just going to make like a little notepad. So I just, and this is what, about 1 inch, I think. Yeah, 1 inch. And I've just run a score line down the middle. And I can put those like that. And either with, you could do a brad or something like that, but I've just got this really cute little stapler. Oh, okay. That didn't work. Let's see, why didn't that work? It's got staples in it, so we're good. Ah, well, that worked. Maybe this little stapler isn't as cute as we thought it was. There we go. It's almost like you've got to knock those staples down. Yeah, I can feel it now. So that gives me a nice, neat little notebook. Just trim those edges off. And again, I'm thinking that I could use it for journaling. So we can stick that there like that. And I think what I'm going to do is maybe use some double-sided tape. Now this is a thing that I use, an idea that I use when I'm making boxes that are heavy duty, and I use some tape like that, and then I add some glue, and I'm going to use this water-based glue because I've never used the alcohol-based glue, solvent-based glue rather, with this method before. So I'm just going to and it kind of is like belt and braces. Right, so let's pop that there like that. I've got a little bit of glue oozing there. It's not surprising because I did put plenty on just to make sure that it doesn't come off. So there, have our cute little notepad. And what I could do, I've got these little stickers, and I've used them on the rest of this particular journal. So this is just pulling all the bits sort of together. Let's see, why aren't you coming out? Maybe I'll try it from this end. There we go. And we can just pop that there to give it a little bit of interest. There we go. Let's rub that in with my bone folder. This deserves a lot more decorating up, and I will do that, I think, once I've got most of the signatures, when I've got the signatures all done. So let's see how we're doing here. So that is looking pretty darn good. And let's test this out. Let's see if this will go in. I didn't put glue there, did I, people? I know I didn't put glue in there. There we are. I was really careful to make sure I didn't goof that bit up. Right. I am going to have to trim a little bit off of there. But that was okay. That was sort of a starter for 10 guesswork. So we just take another 1/4 of an inch off and see if that's going to work. Well, this is matched up so well that it's difficult to get into. There. Let's see what we've got. Is that going to work? It's a bit too snug, isn't it? Right, so let's just take a tiny bit more off. And this should work this time, she says optimistically. Yeah, that's good. And I've got a little bit sticking up there, which will be fine. Okay, so we've done that bit. And I'll just ink up that edge again, just to take the rawness off and get rid of that. Maybe we could pop one of these in there as well. To give that a little bit of interest. And there's some little leaves here. Maybe we could excuse me, put a couple of little leaves in. There we go. And then I think we're done with that, but I had a little piece. I thought this would make a great tab. So this is some linen, and I was experimenting with it with an idea for the cover, which I will share. And I stamped it. I just stamped it with some ordinary water-based ink. And I've added a little bit of, is it Tyvek? Just to, which is kind of, I don't really want to call it paper, but it's sort of a paper that doesn't tear. And so rather than waste the idea, I thought, well, I'll fold that in half and give it a good old rub with the bone fold, just get a nice crisp fold. And if I put that there, and this cutie works, let's see. Nope, it's not going to work. There, it worked now. I wonder if I can get that in there. I'm going to put it on the other end because it's catching. Well, it's going to be too close to that little transfer I put there. Wants to move. There, I think that was just a tiny bit too thick for that tiny little thing, but it's gone through and we can do that. Push those firmly down so I don't catch on fingers. And what do you think to that? I'm thinking that for now, that's this signature done, ready to go with the others. Oh yeah, that's looking good. So that's all ready to go with the others once I've got my cover done. And as I say, I'm going to be sharing that with you on another video. So I'm going to just do a little close-up so you can see what we've got, what we've ended up with. There we go. So we have a notepad on the front. We got some pockets. We got a big pocket with a big old tag in it, and then some more pockets, and then a nice piece on the back that we can play with when we finished getting everything decorated. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, please just go ahead and give me a thumbs up. I'd like to thank you for choosing to spend some time with me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time with the next bit of this particular journal. Bye-bye for now.